Going on, guys? It's Mash here. Welcome back to this another video of conspiracy talks. I know the first one did pretty good with the Antichrist. This is another video like that, but this is more about your sleep cycle and how you wake up, what you remember in your sleep. How this guy was talking about how you should keep a sleep journal and what you remember and write it down. It's pretty interesting. Then we go into depth about the coronavirus. Also, I am trying to fix the audio, so when I do videos like these, I want to hear the person more than the gameplay audio, because every time I've been trying to do that, I always hear the game louder than the video. So if you guys know how to fix that in the settings, please let me know. Also, if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. That'd be really appreciated. Also,
did you do two products?
check out my mixer streams because I do stream my mixer. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Well, I'm gonna edit and say it was Moisey.
No, it's gonna be on him.
Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that you're able to control your dreams. You know,
but it takes
in order
practice.
For you, but it takes practice. Yeah, there's tricks to it. There's tricks like you can have like a sleep. You have to have a sleep journal. Sleep journal is what you do, because what you do is you like pretty much what I was going back to is like the moment you wake up you begin to forget your dream. So your goal is to try to write as many cues that would your dream. You want to try to best describe it. And if you're able to pull that off, then later on when you actually read through it, you can actually remember your dream. Like everything in your dream, from the visuals to the auditory to taste, the scent, the smell, like how your dream was. But it's something that, hold on, where are we going? TV station? It's something that, like I said, like it takes a lot of practice to do.
But first you gotta get control of your dream first of all, huh?
Yes, you have to. So first off, the first thing you want to do is you want to make yourself lucid dream, right? Now, in order to make yourself lucid dream, is like I said, you say that like a mantra, which you pretty much, you want to tell your brain to force yourself to dream. But specifically, you want to remember that you're dreaming, and by you saying the words like, "Oh, tonight I'm gonna dream, and I'm gonna remember that I'm dreaming," it sounds really stupid, but the actual evidence does suggest, scientific evidence does suggest that if you do that, you will be able to more than likely dream and begin to remember your dreams. Why? I don't know why, but that's one of the tricks that they do in sleep research.
Yeah, you're just telling yourself like, dream this, but like doesn't your brain know like, oh, it's telling yourself to dream this, but like, it's like,
yeah, and well, when it comes to dreaming something specifically, like once you get good enough, you can pull that off. But really, the first thing is to get yourself to dream, but try to remember that you dream, because like I said, you dream every single night, but you just don't remember that you're dreaming.
What it was.
Exactly. Now, some people might find that difficult. Like, you could try to tell yourself to dream, and you wake up the next morning, you're like, dude, I didn't dream shit, I don't remember. Well, guess what? You didn't. But there's certain ways to do that. So what you want to do is you want to wake yourself up while you're in your REM sleep cycle.
Enemy personal radar in
and
the
so,
really?
Yes. And so one of the ways to do that is, pretty much you have these different phases in your sleep cycle. Right? They're called like REM and non-REM.
On top of the roof,
okay, okay. It's called like your REM sleep cycle, or like non-REM. And really, what REM stands for, it's REM, but it stands for rapid eye movement. Have you ever seen somebody sleeping and it looks like their eyes are twitching?
Yeah.
Okay, that's called rapid eye movement. That's when your brain's most lucid. Come on, Moisey.
I had a fucking sniper.
Oh my god. Prada, this fool's on top.
I had a sniper.
On top.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
I had a fucking sniper.
So pretty much.
Oh shit.
Depending on whatever phase you are in your sleep cycle, each phase is responsible for a different process of your brain. One of them could be responsible for long-term memory, one of them could be more responsible for recovery, but lucid dreaming more than likely occurs during REM, rapid eye movement.
Dang,
That
that's crazy.
Yes, and usually you'll
I mean,
enter.
what about?
You'll
Get ready
hold
to
on, hold on.
fight. You're
Like
next.
usually you'll enter your REM sleep about 3 hours into your sleep. So let's
Win
say
this
you
fight
sleep
and you return
for
to the
8 hours.
Isn't that like
front
where
line.
your
If you lose,
deep
you're
sleep is
done
at?
here.
At that
Yes,
point, around
yes,
there.
You're up, soldier.
exactly.
Now
So
go
right, and eventually you go into your REM sleep, right? And so when you go into that sleep cycle about 3 hours in, that's when you're more than likely to lucid dream, right? But chances are usually in one night's worth of sleep, you probably go through 2, maybe 3 REM cycles. So your goal is to try to catch yourself and wake yourself up while you're in that REM cycle. So let's say just hypothetically you go to sleep
Enemy
at
personal
like
radar in the
12
air.
o'clock. If you force yourself to wake up
I'll take the
at
wheel.
3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, you're probably
We're
gonna
out
be
of
in
time.
REM sleep,
Scrub the contract.
right?
Yeah.
And
It's crazy because I actually know some people that they could kind of like set an alarm in their head. You know, so you can just be like, oh, you know, I'll wake up at this time, and they don't need an alarm to wake themselves up. They just have,
You'll
you
lead
know,
'em
their
in.
themselves just saying like, oh, you know,
yes,
around that
so
time, just wake up.
so pretty much that's your biological clock. And so like if you can wake yourself up at a specific time, then that's great. Not everybody's able to do that. So
Yeah.
like if you let's just say you set yourself a
Where's
you
he
set
at?
yourself a timer and you wake yourself while you're in REM sleep. When you go back to sleep, you're gonna go back into that sleep cycle. Because you woke yourself up, you can tell yourself, okay, when I go back to sleep, I want to remember that I'm dreaming, you know? And I
Okay.
want to control your dream. So at that point, because you're jumping right into that sleep cycle, you're going to be more than likely to be able to jump straight into a lucid dream. Now,
Wait, how
Just-
does
just
sleep
like that?
paralysis happen and like fucking
What?
sleep paralysis happen? How does sleep paralysis
Enemy
happen?
personal radar in the air.
so sleep paralysis, I'm not sure how exactly it happens, but if it does happen, chances are it's going to happen when you're in that deep sleep. When you're in that REM sleep, that's usually when you're in that
Yeah,
sleep
that
paralysis
happens a
mode.
lot.
Yeah, so
That's
if
how it
you're
How do you
lucid,
wake from it though? How do you wake from it though?
beats me,
I
dude.
gotta fight it.
That's hard to
Yeah,
wake up from.
that's hard.
To be
That's-
honest,
It is. Mhm.
it's hard and scary.
It's scary, yeah, it's scary. 'Cause like, oh shit, I'm in my sleep and I can't move.
Yeah, because I've been,
But your body's
I've,
awake, right?
because I've had a lot of like instances where like I've had sleep paralysis and I know that I'm dreaming, and I tell myself to wake up, but I can't.
I start
Yeah.
moving in my body. Like try to move my
Shake
body.
yourself.
when I'm
Can't even move.
asleep.
Yeah.
Like
Oh shit!
Oh, that one
Got
was
Where did
the
it come
score.
from?
I don't know. This game
From
was
the
weird.
rooftop.
It's my
From
first
the
game.
rooftop. All right. Let's get on the next one. I think we're all too
just
distracted
got
on the
popped.
sleep stuff, so we're not. So we're fucking our aim and.
I mean,
our
I'm
shots are all over the
interested.
place. Sleep research. Just search up lucid dreaming. You got that.
Lucid dreamer.
Lucid dreaming. Lucid
Oh, what
dreaming.
the fuck?
Just Google it. There's actually a book that's called Lucid Dreaming. I think it's written by Stephen Bergman or something like that. I'm trying to remember what the fuck this guy's name is. I'll tell you right now.
Invite me again. Invite me again. Invite me.
Are you leaving?
Why'd you back out?
No, I thought I backed out with you guys.
Okay, his name's Stephen LaBerge.
Yeah, sleep paralysis is probably like the scariest thing that could happen.
I can think of scarier things, but
I mean, no, for me it's like sometimes I
Oh
have
my
them
God.
and then
Bro,
I'm just
hold on,
like,
man.
oh man.
what's up, brother?
They brought food, and I've gotta eat
They're
Oh.
rough for it.
because it's that time of
Okay.
day to eat. You know.
Yeah, I feel you.
So
are
I
you
was
I'll be
talking
right-
to Jake
I'm down to
the
come
other
back.
day.
Okay, how long do you think you're gonna be?
Play.
Like 10, 20 minutes?
Like, no more than 10. It's like,
Okay.
Oh my God.
Alright,
Yeah,
alright, we'll
it's
wait
like
for you.
10 minutes.
We'll wait for you.
but you guys can play though. I'll be.
No, we'll just wait. We'll just wait. Go ahead, Moisey. What were you saying?
Okay.
So I was talking to Jake just about Corona and shit like that, and she was just saying how like, yeah, we all got like he was just telling me his point of thoughts about it. Cause I mean, I always like to hear what he has to say about it. Cause he's an interesting type of person to talk to. It's weird, you know. He's always saying some weird shit. What about you? What's your point, George?
Can you hear me?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I was talking to him about like yesterday about like coronavirus and all that shit.
Okay.
Like,
What
yeah,
about?
he was
what
just
about-
saying about his point of view. He's like, yeah, cause I thought he would still go outside. You know how he is. He's like, oh yeah, Corona, this and that. Like I'm a vegan. You know?
Wait. What?
You know, cause you know how he's a vegan, so he's like
No,
really
wait.
like
Hold on, Moisey. Who are you talking about?
Jake.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
What about him?
yes. I asked him about like,
What's his point of view on the
gosh,
virus?
yeah, and then I thought he was gonna be like, oh, I don't care about it. It's like I'm a vegan. It's not gonna affect me. This and this. But now he was like, yeah, I stay inside. This and this.
Yeah. You gotta protect yourself, dude. You don't want to catch that shit because that virus is no joke.
Yep. That was just
Yeah.
why it came in. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, dude. There's really. I mean, like, genetically, we have like our makeup, our genetic makeup is slightly different. I mean, we're all human, so we're all susceptible to the virus, but depending on like how well your immune system's going to respond to the virus, I mean, that could be due to like genetics, it could be due to like if you have like a predisposed medical condition, your age, whether you're an athlete or not, or like you're healthy. So there's a bunch of different
Yeah.
things you want to take into account, but like what's weird is that there's been cases where there's people who like seem like they're healthy, they look good, they're young, and all of a sudden that shit just fucks them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's
I've heard from like the cases that people die. Like one of the things is that like when you get the virus attacks your lungs, and if it causes like enough buildup of fluid in your lungs, then there's a potential for you to get pneumonia. At which point there's a possibility you may need like a ventilator, and
Yeah.
with ventilators being so scarce, like if you can't get a ventilator, um, you might just die because
Yeah.
you're
Then how
having it's too hard to breathe.
how come I haven't heard anything about like Syria or like Siberia and Iran and all those other countries?
What do you mean? I've heard
Well,
enough about it, man.
numbers.
They have a breakout. Dude, I can give you the numbers right now.
I know everyone has one. I know every country has one. It's like it's not as it's not I guess as big like in China and Italy and the United
Moisey,
States. I guess.
Moisey. Let me give you the numbers. Are you ready for it?
Alright, go. Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is as of right now. This is at 3:55 p.m. The world count of confirmed cases, and this is from ncove2019.live. So that's the website. It's a pretty neat website because the website was designed by this programmer, and what he did is he created an algorithm that compiles a bunch of different like websites. So I guess what
Yeah.
his algorithm is able to do is he's able to take data from a bunch of different websites and now we have 1,018 so 1,018,837 cases.
Dang.
But check this out. In the United States, we have a total of 242,899 cases. And the country who's in second is Italy. And they have 115,242. So in other words, Italy has about half the amount of cases of what we have.
Dang. That's a lot.
But then China, which everybody was, saying China like, oh my God, they have a lot of cases. Well, China, the total amount of confirmed cases that they have had since their breakout is 83,185.
You think that they're lying about a lot of those numbers?
Yeah, I do. I don't think
A
they're
lot of people do.
bad as us, but I do think that their numbers are possibly skewed. I don't think that they're reporting every case, and you have to understand that just because like I'm telling you the confirmed cases are cases of people who have actually been tested, but there's a lot of people that have not been tested and they have the virus, you know. So if you're looking
Yeah.
at the head count, which is like a million, there's definitely more than a million people who are infected. It's just we don't know of those people.
So basically, everyone's a carrier at this point. Then.
No, I wouldn't say that because if you're like if you come into contact with the virus, for one is the virus itself has an incubation period of 2 weeks. So that's 14 days, right?
Yeah.
And usually within about 5 days is when you start beginning to see symptoms of the virus. You know,
Get
the
yourself
symptoms of the
sorted. We'll be
virus would be like
deploying
loss of
shortly.
taste, fatigue, you have what is it called, dry throat, or why I say dry throat, I mean dry cough is what I meant, and then you probably have mucus in your lungs, so something like congestion. And so those are some of the telltale signs. It's a little hard to know for sure whether you have the virus unless you get tested because the flu's going around also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the flu's also contagious, but if we're doing comparison with flu and
Alright,
this,
that's enough fucking about.
I mean, I would
Now
say
we do
that
this for real.
this is definitely some shit, dude. It's, you know, it's type of virus. It's kind of like a zoonotic virus. It's highly contagious, and at this point, nobody really has an immunity to it. So if you come into contact with the virus, right? If you have direct contact with somebody who has the virus, or the virus itself, like through, you know, surface contact,
Right, soldier. Mark a drop
you're
point for your team.
gonna get sick. There's no
Avoid the
doubt.
gas. Get to
Yeah.
the safe
How
zone.
sick you're gonna get, I don't know. That just varies for everybody. I mean, like, probably one of the worst things that can happen if you get sick is, let's just say that you don't, your lungs don't fill up with fluid. One of the worst things that can happen is that you have an overreactive immune system, and there's been people who have died from the virus because of overactive immune system. Pretty much your immune system attacks itself, and so your immune system attacks you, and it's killing you.
Eliminate all targets
Yeah,
in
that's
the AO.
crazy.
Yeah, so it's important, you know, like, you know, wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't touch shit you don't need to
I always
touch, don't
touch
touch
my
objects.
face.
That's a bad habit.
I mean, but like, it's just me touching it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not like, it's not that there's a problem with your skin and your hands touching your face. There's a problem with the things that your hands may come in contact with, and then you touching your face. You can touch a variety of, you know, pathogens. You can touch bacteria. You can touch a virus. You know, you can touch a surface that has a bacteria, virus, or a fungus or something, and then all of a sudden, it makes its way into your system because, you know, you touch your mouth, your lips. You know, you pick your nose. You touch your ear. So there's many different ways that you can transmit one of those pathogens into your body, and then that's kind of why the you know, doctors and the health experts suggest that, you know, you keep your hands away from your face, you know, wash your hand. Just to me, one of the sketchy things is the fact that they haven't been more like, I don't know, that more
Like you're on
suggestive
the
of.
inside.
I was gonna say that they haven't been more suggestive about people wearing face masks, surgical masks, and stuff like that.
Is that necessary?
Well, you know, there's so like the World Health Organization and the Surgeon General of the United States
If you
has
survive, you
pretty
earn your
much
freedom.
made a point. I don't want to say that they made a point, but they said that it's unnecessary for people to be using face masks. That it's the only people that need it are the healthcare workers. And I'm gonna say that, you know, I definitely do think that, you know, the healthcare workers, the doctors, the people on the front line, people who are dealing with
Pay
the sick are the
attention, you'll be
ones
out there
who need
soon.
it the most.
Get ready to
Right?
fight. You're next.
And I kind of think that's kind of why they haven't been so suggestive of it, because of
You
their
win this
fear
fight,
that
you return to the
you know,
front
people
line. And
might
if you
start
lose,
hoarding
you're done
supplies.
here.
I mean, like people aren't hoarding already.
Time to earn
People
your
are
freedom,
hoarding,
son.
but the resources are very
You're
scarce.
heading back to base.
You know,
Learn from the loss.
pretty much,
Failure's a proper teacher.
you know, the doctors, these hospitals are having issues in being able to get enough of those, you know, respirator masks, those masks that can protect them, for, you know, because people are buying them so much. But
Yeah,
if we're
that's
if
true.
but the thing is, if we're speaking in all honesty, like there are certain masks that don't have the capability of preventing the virus from entering through, like, you know, that cloth or the surgical mask. That's a given. But I just want you to think of this. So like I'll give you like three, four different. I'll give you like, what is it? 3, 4 different scenarios. So let's have scenario one. Let's just say that me and you are in a room, right? We're fairly close to each other, and I'm sick, and I cough, right? If you and I are close to each other, what are the chances of you getting sick? I want to say that you yeah. I mean, there's a higher probability because we're close to each other. You're not
Like
protecting your
ringworm.
face. Well, I mean, ringworm's different because it's gonna be direct contact and it's gonna be fungus. But I mean, the virus itself also has to be direct contact. But let's just think of this. So I kind of sneeze in your direction, I cough in your direction. You might inhale some of those, you know, those viral particles, and there you go. You have transmission. You get the virus. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two, right? Let's say that I have a face mask on, right? And you don't.
Yeah.
Okay? I cough, I sneeze, right? The majority of those particles are going to get caught in the fibers of the face mask that I'm wearing, right? Because any type of droplets and stuff like that, the majority of it is going to get caught in that mask. Now, I'm not saying that all of it's going to get caught in the mask, because depending on the material that the mask is made out of, depending on the filtration on it, some of those viral particles are going to be able to seep through the mask, right? But
Yeah.
the way you want to think about it is like, let's just say that it's somebody, like let's say you're playing football, right? And somebody's trying to run past you, and your goal is to kind of stop him, right? You gotta tackle him or you gotta block. If you block him, you're gonna slow him down, are you not?
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
That's
So that's the idea. By you having that mask,
Enemy
that
threat
viral
in the
particle
AO.
is trying to get released out from, you know, your mouth, your nose, but that mask is acting as something to slow down the speed and the distance of which that virus travels at. So like, let's say you and I are 6 feet apart from each other. Maybe it hits you, maybe it doesn't. It's kind of a 50-50, right? Now let's give scenario 3. Let's say I have a mask. You have a mask on, right? We both have masks on. Now, in order for you to inhale that virus would have to exit my mask, right? Some of those viral particles would have to travel where I'm at, where you're at, 6 feet away, and then it would travel at a certain speed to where it actually makes contact with your mask, and it's able to seep through the mask to where you inhale it. You get me? And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's not possible for you to get sick that way. What I'm saying is that you decrease the odds because you have more barriers between you and I. You have distance and you have materials blocking the transmission.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, there are some companies that have made some pretty neat shit when it comes to like respirators and face masks. Like one of the common ones is like, you know, the N95.
Yeah, apparently I heard I like it or some shit like that.
The what?
Apparently those are like the best ones or some shit like that.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they're the best. I know that that's kind of the you know, that is the go-to, right? But even then, the N95 respirators are not 100%, you know, transmission proof, I guess, because the the pores filter on the N95 are only a certain, like, so I'm not sure what the actual distance is, but I think it's like maybe like 6 micrometers, 3 micrometers, right? Is
Yeah.
it is the distance between the fibers inside of that N95 mask. In other words, if there's a particle that is bigger than a micrometer, right? Chances are it may not be able to go through the mask. We're talking about things that like dust, pollen. These are bigger particles. But if we're talking on the scale of like a virus is a lot smaller. A virus is like what, like 9 nanometers or some shit like that. So like, if you do a size comparison between a nanometer and a micrometer, a nanometer is 1,000 times smaller than a micrometer.
Yeah.
So that means that a virus is 1,000 times smaller than the filtration on one of those N95 masks. So a virus has the potential to actually seep in through the filter of that mask. Right? Now, there's certain things you want to take into account. If we're talking about one viral particle, just think of like one, just, you know, one, just envision a circle, right? And I'm gonna try to give you a way that you can picture this. Okay, let's think of this. Imagine a door, right?
Yeah.
And there's a person that's trying to get to that door. That person is that viral particle, right? If the person tries to walk through the door, right, through the door frame, they're able to, right? They're small enough. That's the idea. But let's say hypothetically that somebody sneezes, right? It's not just viral particles, many of them. And maybe a lot of them stuck together, kind of adhere to each other. So imagine if 3 people try to walk through a door frame at the same time. Would they be able to? Definitely not. Right? So if people are coughing, sneezing around you, if you have a clump of those viral cells that seep through the filter on that N95, it's going to be harder for it to go through. Yeah. But if we're talking about, let's just say, viral cells, particles that are suspended inside the air, if one of them lands on that mask, it's not going to have an issue getting through it. And so that's why doctors, people who work in healthcare, they're going to be using those N95 masks the chance they get, because it's going to act as a barrier. The other thing that they do is they use face shields. I don't know if you know this, crazy, but they use shit in their face.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So. Good player. Yeah. Yeah.
This whole thing is crazy. What's happening?
Yeah, it is. How long do you think this is going to last?
Like 2 months.
What if I told you that the data suggests that
Capturing Bravo.
I mean, they suggest stuff like that. But like, I feel like saying like, hopefully the last one is 2 months.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I hope so too, but I'm kind of an open-minded about the whole thing. Try to take a look at the situation at hand and I don't know. I think that this is probably for, a year and a half. Not to say that everything's gonna be, yeah, I'm not saying that everything's gonna be closed down for a year and a half. What I'm trying to say is for us to get through all of this, it's gonna take about that long. Because, so as of right now, our government has taken, social distancing measures, where, we have to be 6 feet apart, we're gonna close down stadiums, events, and stuff like that, and that's great. But the whole purpose of social distancing is not to say, social distancing is going to eliminate the virus entirely. That's really not the point. Yes, it helps. That's not really the point. If you take these social distancing measures, you decrease the rate of transmission. So less people are getting sick. And when less people are getting sick, that means that less people are potentially going to the hospital. So, our healthcare system has capacity. It can only take in so many people. There's only so many doctors. There's so many beds. There's only so many beds. The thing is, you don't want to push it past the capacity. Or the problems that they're seeing in New York, one of the problems that has happened in Italy is that they've pushed the capacity of those hospitals. In doing that, people die as a result of that. I don't want to say that that's the only reason to die, but what I'm saying is that if hospitals cannot help people because they just don't have enough doctors or beds, then most people are going to die because what you do is, by social distancing, is you keep the hospitals from getting completely overwhelmed, and you take this virus, so you spread it out over a longer period of time. They say, try to get, that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about the curve. We're talking about, capacity of those hospitals and the amount of people that are getting infected, And what we want to do is we want to decrease the amount of people that are getting infected to take care of the people that really need the help.
Reloading.
Yeah. Honestly, I just wish.
Friendly UAV online.
That would be cool if, it didn't go past. I mean, everyone does the job, and
Enemy
we
cruise
can
missile
do
incoming.
this, but,
Hostiles are taking echo.
I guess people are just,
Enemy at the
not
construction
with
site.
it all the way.
Enemy
Well,
IFV.
yeah, man, I mean, are people going to be with it? Everybody's receiving different information from,
Hostiles are taking Alpha.
from different areas.
I think that's the
There's
big point. I think that's the big
misinformation.
Enemy at the
problem.
laundromat.
Yeah, it's misinformation and how you take things.
Yeah. So, here's what
It's hard to receive the information I receive sometimes. I don't know if that's
that's why you gotta fact check. You gotta check the sources. You gotta check the source. You gotta check, who's the one that wrote the study. You gotta see who sponsored that study. There's a lot of things you have to take into account when you're trying to, do your research and find out the truth. But, just because you see it on the media doesn't mean that it's legitimate.
that is
Edit that shit. Here's something. Here's a little back just to let me see if I can pull this up. So I know how you're saying you wish this could be over with. Developing a vaccine, dude. That's gonna take about for us to develop.
Oh yeah, you told me about it. Like a solid year. That's not even for sure.
Yeah,
They got
it's all a process. It's not like you're just oh well, we got the vaccine. Let's fucking
and not every process
start
is gonna
injecting.
be successful too.
You're right.
Anything can happen. It's gotta go back to square one, That shit didn't work.
Exactly.
Take cover.
a solid. That's gonna be. I think that's when people are patient. It's man.
Let's put it this way. I think when it comes down to this, the vaccination, right? So with the vaccine, we're hoping that you take the vaccine is pretty much you give people specific sense. I don't want to say medicine, but what it is I'm trying to think of the word.
UAV online.
Pretty much you're injecting people with the virus. The virus is like asymptomatic. It cannot really infect you, and the goal is for your body to produce antibodies so that you can develop an immunity towards
Enemy
the
cruise
virus.
missile incoming.
Right? So like, you know, as you're growing up as a kid, you take your varicella zoster vaccine. You're taking all these different vaccines for chickenpox, smallpox, polio, and so on and so forth, right? But the amount of time for this vaccine to get developed, I mean, this takes time, right? And right now, where we stand when it comes to approval of a vaccine, there's just certain phases that it has to go through, right? One of the first things that it has to go through is the company has to submit an application for them to want to develop the vaccine, you know? So once the application gets approved, then they can go ahead and start animal testing, right? And once they begin animal testing, and let's say that animal testing is approved, then we go into phase 1 trials. Now, phase 1 trials of human trials takes about 3 months.
Friendly precision
Right?
airstrike.
Phase 2 trials, which is after phase 1, takes about 6
Friendly
to 8
UAV online.
months. And the only difference is that like, from phase 1 to phase 2, you're just doing it on a larger group of people, on a larger population size, right?
Enemy
So
UAV
phase 1
overhead.
is 3 months, phase 2 is 6 to 8 months, and then you have phase 3, which is an even larger population, which is another 6 to 8 months.
Capturing
So
Alpha.
what you're looking at is a turnaround time of the earliest, a year and 3 months. Earliest possible.
We've captured A.
Wait. So basically, you're gonna have to try the vaccine on animals
Friendly
first.
precision airstrike on the way.
Yes, we have to try it on animals first because they have to make
Enemy
sure that it's
missile
safe for
incoming.
humans. This is the first time we allowed it. I don't know how many
Enemy
companies
UAV
have
overhead.
I don't know if they do. Just I'd imagine with the Trump administration and stuff like that, they might try to speed up a lot of this process, but if a vaccine comes out within the next couple months, I would not fucking take that. I'd be kind of a little, I don't know,
I know.
cautious over that.
Friendly UAV
I
on.
would-
Enemy cruise missile incoming. You're needed at Alpha.
No, I know. That's good. So that's what happens to other vaccines that work for me, like good, and then they make them, now they're not.
Yeah, it's a process. You know, it takes time. And so, you know, that's why, like, I know, like, Trump was saying, like, we should have a vaccine in a couple months, you know, and the truth is that's not possible.
So what happens?
At least it's not
just
possible without
reacts
doing more
bad,
harm
huh?
than good. Huh?
The vaccine just doesn't work right away, like that.
It's just that you don't, when you're injecting you know, a virus into a person, like, you want to make sure that that virus is deactivated, you know, there's certain things that you want to target within that virus itself.
But
whether you
what? The virus is just like, basically like little small, like bacteria in your body that's just killing your body, basically.
It is.
Right?
It is not bacteria.
No,
Viruses.
not that, but not like like that. I mean, like, it's basically like, how do I say it? Like, it's like it's just something that is like really bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's infectious. It's something that's replicating itself inside of your body, and you know, your body doesn't like it, so your immune system tries to fight it, and those viruses definitely have the potential to kill you. So, yeah, I mean, like, pretty much like a virus is like, really what it is just like a nuclear envelope of like genetic material. And so usually within that nuclear envelope, like it has these like proteins on the outside.
Hey, hold on.
And
I missed the call. I gotta call it back. Hold on.
no, handle. Where's Pratata?